Hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial. In the previous tutorial we talked about series, and I must say it was pretty exhausting because of the long video. So it's just to get you accustomed to the Pandas library. So today we are going to be talking about data frames and how we can create our data frames. Remember, we said data frames are two-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional structures that have rows and columns. So the same way you can create a series with pandas, you can also create a data frame. But the series it takes 4 arguments. The series function takes 4 arguments, which is the data, the index, the data type, and the copy. But the data frame takes 1 additional argument, which is the column, since it has rows and columns. So let's get started and see how we can create data frames. So we can create data frames using lists, using the series, using dictionaries, and other data frames. So we'll see example of this. So let me just say my df is short form for data frame. So my df, just say pd dot data frame. Remember that the data, the d is in capital and the f here is in capital. So don't put a small case letter so you don't get errors. So here we just pass in our data. Let's just pass in a list of numbers and see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's see what gets produced. So you see we have the index inferred as 0, just the mp.range function. So if you don't pass in a particular index, it will be inferred from your data, and also the columns will be inferred. So since we have just one row of list here, it means we just have a single column. So the column will also be inferred. So you see, this is our data frame. So let's use a list let's create a more complicated data frame that has more than one columns by using a list that contains a list, that is a two-dimensional array. So let me say my list is equal to, let me create a list that has list, and here let me just say fiat, and then let me just say 1, 2, 2, and then let me just say Abubakar, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is a number 1, 2, 3, and let me say Zainab 1, 2, 4. Let me say Michael, and let me say 1, 2, 5. Let me say Dayo 1, 2, 6. Let me say Zahra 1, 2, 7, and then let me say Ahmad 1, 2, 8. So let's go with this. So this list is a two-dimensional array, is a list of lists. So it has rows. So these individual lists are rows. Remember NumPy arrays, and these values inside are columns. So if I say my df2 is equal to pd dot data frame my list, let me see what will get printed out. My df2. So you see we have the names here and the numbers here. So the columns is inferred and the name, the index is inferred by using the np range function. The columns is also inferred by using the np range function. So instead of having the custom, let's pass in our own columns. Let's say columns is equal to name, and let's say admission number, and let's pass in our index. Index is equal to, let's say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so let's say this. So yes, that's it. So now we have a customized data frame with the name, admission number, and a customized index. So this is how you can create a data frame with lists. So you can do a lot of things. You can also change the d type. I can change the d type. I can say d type to float. I can say d type is equal to float. So if I print this now, it will change all the numbers to float. So you see 122.0, 123.0, and so on and so forth. So that's just a simple way to create your data frame from a list. So that will be all for this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial.